Today, I'm going to be telling you guys the 5 things I think Apex Legends Mobile needs to fix before they launch the game globally. Now, I'll be quite honest, the soft launch of Apex Mobile was my first ever soft launch beta experience of a mobile game, and to be honest, that thing is near perfect. They did so many things right and so many amazing things in the soft launch, and they pretty much released us a full-fledged game a whole 2 months early. But there were definitely a few things that, if they keep going into the global launch, I think might cause some problems later on down the line. Now, the first thing on my list, and something that might be a little bit controversial, but I feel like the movement at the current state of Apex Legends Mobile is a bit overpowered. While everyone seems to love the insane skill gap that is formed amongst the players in this Apex Legends Mobile soft launch, I think most of it is due to the rather broken movement that players have discovered and mastered these last few weeks. I am a huge fan of being able to outmaneuver your opponents and gain any advantage possible, but the existing movement meta of boost sliding infinitely across the map is just broken. While PC has B-hopping and other ways that I like to think of as maintaining your momentum, to my knowledge, PC and console don't have any way to just create momentum out of thin air. So I think it's important to keep these advanced movement mechanics in the game, as they do definitely increase the skill gap, and obviously that is what everyone wants. But some of these mechanics, like the slide B-hopping and able to just infinitely boost your speed that you travel across the map, I definitely think that removing an aspect like this from the game at launch would be pretty beneficial. And if you guys are thinking I want the movement nerf just because I can't do it myself, well, let me reassure you, yeah, I can do the infinite B-up slide. It's not even really that hard. It's just kind of like a stupidly broken thing that within a month or two, probably everyone on the game is going to be doing, and then it doesn't really add much of a skill gap component. But moving on to the second item that I think needs to get some big attention is the rank system and the rank outline. Now, the one thing that's annoying me most about the ranked game mode is how inconsistent the points earned in each match seem to be. One game you can get 1 kill in a 3rd place yet earn 30 to 40 points, while on the other hand you can get 6 kills and a win and only walk away with 50 points or so in Masters. I think it would be beneficial for everyone if Apex Mobile added an official ranked point guide showing just how you can earn points in Apex Legends Mobile. It's clear that the Apex Mobile rank system varies drastically from the PC and console point system, yet we still don't have any defined system for the ranked mode. But I really just hope that's because we're in a soft launch and they're still testing some things out, trying to iron out the details. And one thing to note is around a week ago, Apex Legends on PC and console had a huge rank system overhaul, changing some really core fundamental things of how people earn points. So I'm curious to see if those aspects are going to be coming to the mobile version, or if they're going to be staying true to the word of just having mobile as its own entity and it's not connected to PC or console. But overall, I don't think it's a huge deal. But the current rank system, to me at least, is very confusing, and some explanation on how many points we can get a game, as well as the most optimal way to go for points, would be super helpful. And on the topic of ranked, we'll slide into our 3rd point, and that is the bots in the ranked mode. Now, I think this is mainly because the game is in soft launch and they add bots to the games to help with queue times. I'm a little afraid that the bots might stick around even in the global launch. Games like COD Mobile and Fortnite Mobile introduced bots into their battle royales around 2 years ago and have had them in ever since. But COD Mobile is the only game that I'm aware of to keep bots in the ranked mode, while Fortnite doesn't allow bots in their arena playlists. Having bots in ranked would not only lower the quality of the gameplay and therefore the gameplay content, but it would delegitimize the platform, as people would think that we aren't good enough to go up against real players in ranked, as that was a common misconception in the Fortnite mobile scene. Now, I do think bots belong in pubs, as they're a good way to get players introduced into the game, but they have no bearing being in the ranked mode, and I'm really just hoping that they added bots to help with queue times and just letting lobbies form in the first place during the soft launch. And if I queue up and see bots in ranked in the global launch, not gonna be that happy of a camper. Now, moving on to the 4th thing that I think needs to be addressed is the cosmetics in the game. Now, this isn't something that was necessarily wrong or broken or bad in the soft launch. I actually think the cosmetics and what they provided during this like pre-season 1 was fantastic. They had a full-fledged battle pass, they had crates. We'll probably see most of these cosmetics return into season 1, but one thing I saw missing were some super rare items like heirlooms and other things that you either have to grind for or that are just exclusive in nature. Now, although cosmetics don't have any effect on the gameplay, cosmetics are great for giving players an incentive to get back on and grind or flex to their friends and make them play the game. I know tons of people from back in the Fortnite days who only kept playing because of how rare and OG their locker was, and I think Apex Mobile launching with some rare cosmetics will have a lot of us looking back in a year or two on our journey through the game and the cosmetics we've collected along the way. So once again, I think they crushed it with the current cosmetics in the game, but really, I would love to see some heirlooms, some craftable things like that going into the first season, or maybe even some mobile exclusive skins and items that we can really flex to the console and PC players. Now, moving on to my last point, I think this is something most of y'all would agree with if you're more of an advanced player. I personally felt like in this soft launch, there just weren't nearly as many performance-based settings and graphical-based options as I'm accustomed to on some other mobile games. Now, I would say that the graphic options they provided for just general, graphic option of like soft, original, or like smooth, original, HD, all that stuff, and the FPS options were fine. It really just stopped at that. There wasn't really anything else you could do to your graphics. You couldn't add a resolution slider. There wasn't even an FPS in-game display option. So what, I don't even know how much is ultra. Is ultra 90 FPS for an iPad? Is it 120? Obviously it's going to vary from device. So in a world where device performance ultimately has a ton of impact on how good you can be as a player, not seeing too many different options to change your performance and enhance your performance in the soft launch was a little worrying. But once again, a lot of these I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt that these are things they were still working on and things that they planned on adding in the global launch. And truthfully, I think that's the case for this as well. But really, I want on launch day to open up my settings, go right to the graphics, and just see what they've done, hoping for maybe a colorblind setting, FPS in-game counter, and maybe some other graphic options that can make me fine-tune my gameplay and my performance just a little bit more. But those are my 5 things that I think Apex Legends Mobile should fix or change going into the global launch. Let me know if you guys agree with me down below in the comments section, or if you have some of your own things that you think need to be addressed going into the launch. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.